Today I'm looking at this little Nikon bridge camera. This is the Nikon Coolpix P80. Its unique selling feature is the 18 times optical zoom that it has. So this is quite a lot of telephoto pulling power. It will never win any prizes for beauty, but it seems a capable little 10 megapixel camera. I've been out, I've taken some pictures around the village that I live in. At the moment we have our Scarecrow Festival, so there are some pictures of scarecrows, and I will have a little walk around the controls of the camera to show you how to use it, and then the images that I've taken will be in the gallery at the end. Hope you enjoy. So the unique selling point of this particular one is the 18 times optical zoom. In 35mm terms, that means that the camera has a zoom which is the equivalent of going out to well over 400mm, which makes it quite impressive for a camera which is still less than the length of my hand. At the wide angle lens, it's about 25-26mm. It's got a fairly conventional dial at the top. I've got manual, which means I can select both the aperture and the shutter speed. I've got A for aperture, which means that I select the aperture and the camera selects the shutter speed. S is the other way around. I select the shutter speed and the camera selects the aperture. Program means that the camera takes control of both the aperture and the shutter speed and gives me what it hopes to be the best result. And green is, well, everything on the camera is automatic. This sports mode is quite interesting because instead of selecting a high shutter speed, what it does in sports mode is actually it takes multiple photographs. So as long as I keep the shutter depressed, the camera's going bang, 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 and taking as many pictures as it can before I release the shutter speed, or the buffer fills up, or the memory fills up. Scene is quite interesting on this camera. So if I turn it on to the display, then at the moment you can see it's ahead for portraits, but having selected the menu button, I can change to landscapes, night portraits, party indoors, beach, snow, sunset, dusk, dawn, night landscape, close-up photography, museum photography, fireworks show, copying documents, backlight, panoramic assist, which allows me to stitch together separate shots, voice recording. I can adjust the image quality and I can adjust the image size, which is quite a lot for one button. The back of the camera, you can see this nice LCD screen. If now I look through the viewfinder, I can't see anything. If I press this button here, it switches between the LCD and the viewfinder. It's not a traditional optical viewfinder, it's an electronic viewfinder. So all the information that was on the screen here is now available through the viewfinder of the camera. This is particularly useful when it's really bright outside. So looking at the screen on the back isn't very convenient. This one looks a lot better. Going back to the top, I can do movies, and there is a useful setup function which allows me to change the basic features of the camera, such as the date and time and the image quality again. On the back of the camera, I have this other control here. This will allow control over the flash gun. It will allow me to alter the power of the flash gun, so if I don't like the image I get the first time, I can try it again. Likewise, without the flash gun, this is an exposure compensation, so if my image is too dark, I can press plus to have more light, or I can press minus if it's too bright to have less light. I have a macro mode, and of course I have a self timer. And this image here will allow me, button here will theoretically, let's try that again. It will allow me to look at pictures I've previously taken, and if I don't like any of them, I can trash them. What I particularly like about it, although it has a standard tripod mount, you can see it has a slightly flat area here, which means that to take a long telephoto shot, I need the camera to be as steady as possible. So this little platform on the bottom, if I can find somewhere that's level, it will mean that camera's not going to wobble so much, and that is really, really a nice touch. So I have been out, I've taken some pictures. At the moment in the village that I live, we have our annual Scarecrow Festival. So I've been out taking pictures of buildings, plants, and indeed a number of scarecrows. So see what you think about the quality. I think this is a nice little camera. Nikon Coolpix P80.